Dismiss them? Did you start? If you just type in Boxcaster, it'll pop up with my password. Of course, it's on the screen now. Okay, we're ready? Yeah, just hit login. Okay, so minimize that here, back up because that's all they can see. Okay, I'm going to get them going then. Please rise. Please remain standing for the singing of O Canada, led by Councillor Koch. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all our sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Welcome, honorable guests, friends and family, our media partners, and of course, our new members of council. I am honored to call this official inaugural meeting of the City of Kenora for the 2022-2026 Council to order. Please remain standing for the land acknowledgement. As we gather here this evening, we begin this inaugural meeting of Council by acknowledging that we are meeting on Aboriginal land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. As settlers, we're grateful for the opportunity to meet here, and we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, as we gather here, there have been Aboriginal peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge we are in Treaty 3 territory, and on the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of Ojibwe Chippewa. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contributions of Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. As settlers, this recognition of the contributions and historic importance of Indigenous peoples must also be clearly and overtly connected to our collective commitment to make the promise and the challenge of truth and reconciliation real in our communities. You may be seated. Inaugural meeting symbolizes a start, a new beginning, and is a moment in time which characterizes commencement of new foundations. Today, these leaders officially begin their new journey for creating history and guidance in our city. I wish them all well as they begin that journey today. I will now call upon our Member of Parliament, Eric Malello, to bring greetings to our new council. You're just muted there, Mr. Malone. There we go.
Sorry, am I on now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, my apologies. I actually couldn't hear the room, so I wasn't sure if I was up or not. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today for the inaugural meeting and for the opportunity to join you here from Ottawa. I appreciate you making the accommodations possible for this to happen. Of course, I just want to start off by extending my congratulations to the mayor and to all the councillors who have obviously had successful elections and put their best foot forward in order to be elected and have the honor, the opportunity as well to serve the community. I want to congratulate you on that and thank you for that. Thank you for putting your names forward to serve the region. I know it's the community of the region. I know it's not an easy task, but it's certainly an important one. And I appreciate everyone that came forward, took the initiative to do so, and it's great that you have this opportunity before you. I want to say as well, I know you'll be hearing from our MPP and Minister Rickford shortly, but I think you'll find, particularly to new members of council, that there's perhaps a more obvious or a more direct relationship with the province than there is with the federal government. And I know for myself, I'm hoping that we can have, nonetheless, a very robust relationship. And I know I talked with Mayor Poirier about this just a couple days ago as well. So I want you all to know that my door is always open. I encourage everyone to keep me abreast of the issues that you're hearing in the areas where we can collaborate from the federal side as well, so to ensure that we're moving forward, not just with provincial and municipal relationships and partnerships, but with the federal government is at that table as well. So looking forward to working with everyone, and I just want to congratulate you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now call upon our Member of Provincial Parliament, the Honourable Greg Rickford, for greetings to our new council.
Okay, can everybody hear me here?
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks. My screen is Tim. So hello, Tim. And I see former Mayor Canfield there. Okay, now I got a little thin little band on top of the council. Listen, folks, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I can't recall having been involved in anything like this before, but I think it's a heck of an idea because it's a public acknowledgement, not just of our, and I heard Eric say his words, appreciation for the work that you do, but the work as politicians do. We might steal a moment to understand each other and the work that we do that some folks just don't know about, and how tireless our efforts really are for the benefit of the city, the surrounding area, and Northwestern Ontario writ large. I recall, since I saw former Mayor Canfield there in my screen, I have a deep appreciation for municipal politicians. I remember when I was the member of parliament back in the days when we actually had phones and answering machines. I'd come home and press and I'd get a beep. You know, there's a beeping pothole in the road, such and such a road, and there's a effing tree branch down on such and such a road, and you know, I didn't know there were so many words that started with F and wound up talking about politics. In any event, I then learned as the member of parliament that not only was I not responsible for those things, but I felt sorry for the politicians that were. The good news is I did my job, and I called each one of them back and told them to call Mayor Canfield, that the federal government had no jurisdiction to pothole the road. I'm kidding, Dave. I wouldn't do that to you. Anyway, we're all in this together. I have pre-existing relationships with a number of you. Clearly, this was a change election in many regards, and I've been part of that. We are in a unique situation now where we've got a great mix of people with deep civic, local political experience, and people that have come from different sectors within the city to reflect what the public and what the voters have decided. And so it's important that you folks understand that my commitment is unwavering. I think the province has demonstrated a clear commitment in the past to a variety of different projects. That won't change, and I'm delighted, of course, to hear my federal counterpart talk about a redoubled effort to ensure that the federal government is visible on the ground in the city of Kenora and the surrounding area. I was talking to the Minister of Transport just the other day about the next segments of the twinning of the highway, and the questions around whether a formal application for that part of the highway has to be submitted, like it may not have been for other segments that the federal government had more than casually delivered tens of millions of dollars to. So we're getting to the bottom of this. We need strong advocacy at the municipal level. I think we've got it here, and I'm looking forward to working with each one of you so we have an even bigger, better city to live in and to celebrate it as we all do when we're at home and we go other places. So thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to sitting down in a forum very soon to discuss specific opportunities of common interest. Thank you. You look good there, Andrew.
Thank you, Minister.
That was actually a picture there, and you got to get the picture of the king now. The queen is.
The queen's in the room.
All right, I will now administer the declaration of office to Mayor Poirier. I state your name.
Andrew Poirier,
Having been elected to the office of mayor in the city of Kenora, district of Kenora, do solemnly promise and declare
I will truthfully, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty, or to His Majesty, King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration consciously believing to be the truth and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as it made under oath.
declared before me in the City of Kenora and the District of Kenora this 15th day of November 2022.
Straight.
I will now ask our members of council to please join around the front of the table.
I, Graham Chase.
I, Kelsey Van Bellingham.
I, Lisa Doyle Norcreek.
I, Barbara Manson. I, Lindsay Hutch.
Robert Gurney.
Having been elected to the office of councillor in the City of Kenora, District of Kenora, do solemnly promise and declare that
I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
declared before me today at the City of Kenora and the District of Kenora this 15th day of November 2022. I ask you to now sign the declarations. I will now ask, you may be seated. I will now ask the members of the Police Services Board to please come forward. David S. Canfield, Jennifer Katowski, Mayor Andrew Poirier, and Councillor Kelsey Van Bellingham. Great. I state your name in full.
Kelsey Van Bellingham.
Andrew Poirier.
Jennifer Katowski.
David Canfield.
Can you read it together?
I solemnly swear that I will be loyal to His Majesty the King and to Canada, and that I will uphold the Constitution of Canada, that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge my duties as a member of the Kenora Police Services Board faithfully, impartially, and according to the Police Services Act, any other act, and any regulation, rule, or bylaw.
Sworn before me today at the City of Kenora in the District of Kenora this 15th day, year 2022. I will now turn the gavel over to Mayor Poirier.
Thank you, Heather. And welcome, everybody. I have a few words that I wish to share with our guests this evening, so bear with me, it's not too long. Fellow citizens, family, friends, staff, and distinguished guests, I would like to thank everyone for attending this evening. It is so heartwarming to see everyone here and take an interest in our community. Before I begin, I would like to thank my wife, Marge, for her unwavering support throughout my time as a city councillor and now mayor. And also to my precious daughter who is looking down on us this evening with a big smile on her face. Your support has meant the world to me, and I love you both for everything that you do to complete me. I would also like to thank all the citizens of Kenora who supported me during my campaign and believing in me and my vision for the community. A huge shout out to acknowledge the hard-working and tireless effort of staff, not only at City Hall, but throughout the entire organization. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. I am truly humbled to have worked alongside the members of our outgoing council. Under Mayor Dan Raynard's leadership, we have once again moved the city in a positive direction with many great initiatives either completed, some commencing, and others on the horizon. Thank you, Dan. To my fellow councillors, in no particular order, Rory, Sharon, Mort, Chris, and Graham, thank you for your dedication, your hard work throughout this term of council. Your sense of public service was always on display for the city, for your city. My campaign focused on making Kenora safe again, economic development, and strengthening relationships. I spent a lot of time campaigning door to door, and the main concern that everyone voiced were the rampant drug use visible in downtown and also the homelessness problem gripping our streets. Strategies employed to date to reverse this trend are not working. We as City Council, along with willing partners, need to come up with solutions which can take hold and begin this reversal. Like residents of this city, I want to save Kenora too. Economic development is another important issue. As I indicated throughout the campaign, it is imperative that Kenora begins to make decisions that will move this city forward so that it becomes a community where the private sector will invest and thus build new business opportunities here. We need to initiate projects, tangible projects, that will create a more positive experience for our tourists, our summer residents who we are like extended family members of our community, and of course all of us who choose to make Kenora home. It reminds me of a quote from the movie Field of Dreams: "If you build it, they will come." The time is now. I can't emphasize that enough. To that end, I look forward to working with many agencies, organizations, and developers both in the city and in the surrounding areas of Kenora, as well as our upper levels of government to help make this happen. Oh, I thought Greg was still on the... Kenora's made significant strides forward over the past several years. Let's keep moving forward. I plan on strengthening our relationships with all our stakeholders and organizations, including our First Nation partners, through aggressive outreach. This would include our local MPP and MP who have spoke this evening. In fact, I've already had lengthy meetings with both of them. I am so excited to be able to work with a slate of new councillors who bring fresh energy and ideas to the council table. I have already witnessed this during our limited time together to date. Stay tuned, Kenora. I would like to formally recognize my new council team, and this is alphabetically. So Councillor Bob Burney, Councillor Graham Chase, Councillor Lindsay Koch, Councillor Barb Manson, Councillor Lisa Moncrief, and last but not least, Councillor Kelsey Van Bellingham. Welcome to City Council, and I look forward to the many years of collaboration and debate. Each new councillor is a person with ideas and goals for our city. Together we will work as a cohesive group with the goal to make Kenora the jewel in Sunset Country again. My door is always open and visible. I've said this many times that after tonight I will hit the ground running, and my wife made me put this in, so I will read it. Okay, maybe not like my wife runs, but you get the idea. And that I would be here for you, the taxpayers of Kenora. I would like to end by quoting Christine Kane. To build a strong team, you must see someone else's strength as a competent, or else's strength as a complement to your weakness and not a threat to your position or authority. Miigwech, and thank you for attending this evening and being part of this inaugural celebration. Thank you. So next on the agenda, I'd like to call on our Chief Administrative Officer, Kyle Attanasio.
Thanks very much, Your Worship. I'm going to be speaking on behalf of City Administration tonight, and you're going to hear some similar themes between the new Mayor and I. To the Mayor, Councillors, citizens, friends, family, and staff, thanks for joining us for this important event to celebrate and honor the inauguration of our new Council. People who have put their time and effort forward to come together and collaborate on tackling the important issues that face our community. First off, I would like to thank and recognize the staff here at the City for their commitment throughout the previous 4 years. I want to thank all of our union partners and our professional staff for their dedication to improving the workplace and our services here at the City. Yes to staff. Well, let's do it. Despite a pandemic filled with multiple lockdowns, forest fires, floods, heavy snow, and many other challenges, I'm proud of the determination our staff has shown, and I am confident that we are prepared for whatever the next 4 years has to throw at us. I'm thankful to serve alongside a strong and experienced senior leadership team that challenges each other and is prepared to engage in the difficult conversations necessary to advance our community. So thank you to all of you who are here today. I want to pass on my sincere appreciation to the outgoing council for the opportunity to serve the City of Kenora and for their confidence in my leadership. It has been a pleasure to work alongside these individuals, and I know that numerous key initiatives were kicked off by this group that will benefit the city for years to come. I wish all the best to those outgoing councillors as they enter the next stage in their lives. In reflecting on the results of the recent election, I am encouraged by the alignment that I'm seeing within our community. In 2022, the outgoing council approved the city's strategic plan. Yes, we do have one. There's a myth out there that we don't, but we do have one. For a 5-year period from 2022 to 2027. The strategic planning process was rigorous, and it incorporated significant public feedback. Those priorities identified in the strategic plan were reaffirmed in the recent election campaign as key issues of planning, economic growth, housing, infrastructure, public safety, relationships with our treaty partners, and communications and transparency all rose to the forefront during the campaign. City administration has been lining up resources over the past year to better support these key public and council priorities, and we are ready to help the new council achieve their goals and deliver on their vision. Regarding planning, economic development, and housing, administration is continuing to work tirelessly in supporting the delivery of several major housing projects in the coming years, which will provide much-needed units for our community. We have brought in a seasoned director with decades of local experience to renew our commitment to providing excellent customer service, not just to our residents, but to developers and investors interested in our community. We are also committed to streamlining our processes to enhance the experience of all of those that access these services from the city. Regarding infrastructure, city administration is working diligently, using data to make evidence-based decisions around our investments in infrastructure. We have and will continue to aggressively pursue funding opportunities to alleviate the pressure on our budgets to care for our infrastructure, and we have undertaken a study of our rural roads to understand how we can best care for those assets. This planning allows us to be more proactive and less reactive, which will be beneficial for our whole city. Regarding public safety, city administration recognizes that while the issues that we are experiencing are not unique to our city, our community looks to the City of Kenora to be leaders on this issue. Through our Crime Prevention and Community Wellbeing Advisory Committee, the city will partner with other agencies to explore how we can work to improve the experience in our downtown core and surrounding community. Regarding relationships with our treaty partners, the city will soon hire its first Indigenous Relations Liaison. The Indigenous Relations Liaison will provide strategic leadership, expertise, and guidance on the city's approach to fostering positive relationships with First Nations and Métis organizations and communities. This is a landmark occasion for our city, and we believe that this will advance our relationships with our treaty partners to new heights. Regarding communications and transparency, city administration continues to enhance our suite of communication tools and introduce new tools to provide more information to the public. On behalf of city administration, I'd like to congratulate the new council on their inauguration this evening. Take it in, enjoy it. There's lots of work to come, so focus on tonight and just enjoying the occasion. Administration is looking forward to learning more about your collective vision and your ideas for the community. The relationship between council and administration works best when it's a true partnership, and that is the spirit with which city administration is entering into this meeting tonight. Together, in executing our respective roles, I am confident that we will deliver positive outcomes for the city. Once again, thanks very much to everybody who showed up tonight to support this event. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle. So moving on along the agenda, declaration of pecuniary interest. Any member of council to declare any declaration of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof pertain to any item on today's agenda. So I do have a declaration further on in the meeting, which I will read. Moving on, I'd like to call on resolution number 1.
I'm new here. Resolution number 1, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Graham Chase, Councillor Chase, that the councillors of the City of Kenora be and are hereby appointed acting mayor with the power to do all things pertaining to the office of mayor during the absence of Mayor Andrew Poirier for the period set out below. Robert Burney, November 15th, 2022 to July 31st, 2023. Graham Chase, August 1st, 2023 to March 31st, 2024. Lindsay Koch, April 1st, 2024 to November 30th, 2024. Barbara Manson, December 1st, 24 to July 31st, 2025. Lisa Moncrief, August 1st, 2025 to March 31st, 2026. And Kelsey Van Bellingham, April 1st, 2026 to November 30th, 2026. And further, that in the absence of the designated deputy mayor during the applicable time period, the previous deputy mayor shall prevail.
Thank you. Any discussion? No? I will call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Moving on to resolution number 2.
Resolution number 2, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Chase, that the following council and community members hereby be appointed to the Accessibility Advisory Committee with a term to expire at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Kelsey Van Bellingham, Councillor Lindsay Koch, Mary Bodden, Carolyn Hudson, and Maureen Wasikis.
Thank you. Any discussion? Call the vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Carried. Moving on to resolution number 3.
Resolution number 3, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Chase, that the following council and community members be hereby appointed to the Crime Prevention and Community Wellbeing Advisory Committee with a term to expire at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Robert Burney, Councillor Barbara Manson as the alternative, Anita Cameron, and Logan Haney.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Moving on to resolution number 4.
Resolution number 4, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Burney, that the following community members be hereby appointed to the District of Kenora Home for the Aged Management Board with a term to expire at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. James Blight, Norbert Dufresne, and Jill Torrey.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 5.
Resolution number 5, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Burney, that the following council and community members be hereby appointed to the Heritage Kenora Committee with a term to expire at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Lisa Moncrief, Councillor Barbara Manson, alternate, Mort Goss, at-large representative.
Thank you. Any discussion? Carried. Call the vote. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 6.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move resolution number 6, and it's seconded by Councillor Koch, that the following council and community members be hereby appointed to the Kenora Police Services Board with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Mayor Andrew Poirier, Councillor Kelsey Van Bellingham, and Jennifer Katowski, community member. And further, that the council members are that the following members are provincial appointees appointed by order in council: Sarah Diaz, term to October 20th, 2024, and David Canfield, term to October 20th, 2024.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Okay, resolution number 7, I have a declaration to read, and then I will give my chair up to the deputy mayor. I, Andrew Poirier, am declaring a indirect pecuniary interest as it relates to agenda or resolution number 7 regarding the Kenora Public Library. My pecuniary interest is indirect. It relates to my spouse, and the nature of my interest is as follows. Spouse appointment to the Kenora Public Board.
So as Councillor Bruni, you take the chair.
Resolution number 7, please.
Resolution number 7, your worship, that the following council and community members be hereby appointed to the Kenora Public Library Board with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Barbara Manson, Councillor Kelsey Van Bellingham, alternate, can't even get my own name right. Maureen Wasakis, Marjorie Poirier, Rory McMillan, Timothy Fulmer, Jennifer Hansen, Chris Morley, Carmen Marginet, Emily Caldwell.
A point of order, Councillor Van Bellingham, moved by and seconded by.
Pardon me, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Moncrief.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Barring none, vote please. Thank you. Carried.
Mayor Poirier to return to the chair.
Thank you. Moving on to resolution number 8.
Resolution number 8, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Moncrief, that the following council and community members be hereby appointed to the Muse Board with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Lindsay Koch, Councillor Graham Chaz, alternate, Robert Bowman, Jamie Clinton, Charito Gallivan, Adriana Hardy, Lisa Lyle, Cheryl Mosendy, Bree Thompson, Greg Holland.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moving on to resolution number 9.
Resolution number 9, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Moncrief, that the following community members be hereby appointed to the Planning Advisory Committee of Adjustment with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Robert Katowski, Tara Rickaby, Robert Bowman, Carrick Funk, Renee Y.M. Robert, Jay Wetter, and Andrea Bowman. No, sorry, Andrew Campbell, pardon me.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Thank you. Carried. Moving on to resolution number 10.
Resolution number 10, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Moncrief, that John McDougall be hereby appointed to the Synergy North Corporation Board of Directors with a term aligned with the Synergy North Corporation Board term of April 30th, 2025.
Any discussion? Call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Moving on to resolution number 11.
Resolution number 11, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Van Bellingham, that the following council and committee members be hereby appointed to the Sustainability Advisory Committee with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Lisa Moncrief, Ashley Nordland, Energy and Utility Services Sector Rep, Laura Luhausen, Local Business Community Rep, Craig Debo, Community at Large Rep, Roy McMillan, Community at Large Rep, Keith Laux, Community at Large Rep, Tika Newton, Education Sector Rep, and Ethan Amayoiti, Community at Large Rep. And I'm sorry if I screwed up your name.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moving on to resolution number 12.
Resolution number 12, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Lisa Moncrief, that the following members of council be hereby appointed to the All Nations Health Partners with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Graham Chase and Councillor Lisa Moncrief, alternate.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 13.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move resolution number 13, seconded by Councillor Koch, that Councillor Robert Burney be hereby appointed to the Kenora Business Improvement Area, the BES Board, with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 14, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move resolution number 14, seconded by Councillor Koch, that the following members of council be hereby appointed to the Kenora Handy Transit Board with a term at the pleasure of council no later than the 14th of November 2026. Councillor Barbara Manson and Councillor Lindsay Koch, alternate.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 15, please.
Resolution number 15, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Moncrief, that the following members of council be hereby appointed to the Kenora Airport Authority with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Lisa Moncrief and Mayor Andrew Poirier as alternate.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote, please. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 16.
Resolution number 16, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Graham Chase, that Mayor Andrew Poirier be hereby appointed to the Kenora District Municipal Association with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Passed. Thank you. Resolution number 17, please.
Resolution number 17, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Graham Chase, that Councillor Lisa Moncrief be hereby appointed to the Kenora District Municipal Association with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Thank you. Resolution number 18, please.
Resolution number 18, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Graham Chase, that the following members of council be hereby appointed to the Kenora Healthcare Centre Board of Directors with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Councillor Lindsay Koch, Councillor Graham Chase, Mayor Andrew Poirier.
Any discussion? I'll call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 19, please.
Resolution number 19, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Graham Chase, that David S. Canfield, community member, be hereby appointed to the Ministry of Natural Resources, LCC Committee with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026.
Discussion? I'll call the vote. Thank you. Resolution number 20.
Your Worship, I have a conflict for this.
Lindsay Koch, I'm declaring an indirect pecuniary interest as it relates to resolution number 20 of today's meeting regarding the appointment to the Northwestern Health Unit Board of Health. My nature of the interest is as follows. I am an employee of the Northwestern Health Unit who works directly with the Board of Health.
Thank you.
Resolution number 20, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Chase, that Councillor Robert Burney be hereby appointed to the Northwestern Health Unit Board of Directors with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026.
Discussion? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 21.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move resolution number 21, seconded by Councillor Koch, that the following council members be hereby appointed to the Tunnel Island Common Ground Committee with a term at the pleasure of council no later than November 14th, 2026. Mayor Andrew Poirier, Councillor Lisa Moncrief, and Councillor Lindsay Koch.
Thank you. Discussion? Call the vote. Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 22.
Resolution number 22, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Graham Chase, that this inaugural meeting of council of the corporation of the city of Kenora be now declared closed at 5:44.
All those in favor?
Yeah.
Thank you. Before I adjourn the meeting, just wanted to let everybody know that you're welcome to join us in the office area, main office area, for a reception follows this meeting. So thank you, and thank you for coming this evening.